you dig it? Can you fucking dig it? I fucking hate this Keo mic. Alright, let's look at the chart here. Saturn's testing me now. I'm trying to quit coffee. Every time I drink it, I break something. Yesterday I broke a fucking work light. That's like there's mercury in those things, you know. It took 4 hours of cleaning. I still may have to throw some stuff away. So let's talk for a moment here. The world, the battle of belief, it's the mind thing. Separated from the heart, separated by the emotions you don't dig into because it's painful and there's no easy way to do it. You know, we gotta live in this world, we gotta grind to fucking survive, so it's like, it's an understandable thing to sweep stuff under the carpet and just continue on with life as if nothing ever happened, pouring your libations and placating the real work of life, the evolution, the cultivation of psyche through your emotional impulses, traumas, following the desire that doesn't destroy you. And so we co-sign the world around us and we give that power and we make that holy instead of what's within us. And so the shit continues on, the Tower of Babel gets up and it crumbles and falls, and then we start again. Different psyche, different ages, different cycles within these ages. So, parables, allegory. Hobo Tarot had an interesting video this morning about the Western world programming, what's happening right now. When Pluto hit Capricorn, maybe about 7-8 degrees Capricorn, I really started to realize a lot of things. Where are we here? I discovered a guy named Michael Tsarion, a researcher. He's from Ireland. He opened my eyes to a lot of things. He gave me a lot of resources to dig into. He had a very holistic perspective. He covered a lot of the darkness. To give balance to the light that we can all feel. So he put me on to Manly P. Hall. I did all this research. I read all these things and learned a couple things. We never stop learning. We can't not learn. It's releasing that's the hard thing. So the world was all fucked up. I was already insane, so I knew the world was insane already. That's a Michael Tsarion line. Insane in an unsane world. Maybe he got it from someone else, I don't know. But this is the problem. people would rather be crazy than go crazy. And then when the shit hits the fan, they go all out. They lose themselves because they have no locus of control, no gravity within themselves, because they've given it to something else, to icon, to archon. So let's talk allegory, parable. America, the land of the serpents. This land's been known for a long time. History just didn't start 2,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. We didn't come from a cave. This ain't a linear projection here from the Big Bang to now. Okay. How about you throw a harpoon into the void of potential and you pull something back that brings meaning to yourself, so you don't have to put it in some stupid narration of a consensus reality dictate. Why do you give a fuck about what scholastic people say when their livelihood depends upon regurgitating the reframing of existence through a guess? There is no absolution. The only static is it's all dynamic. Alright, so cycles. There are times when we live in caves, probably after cataclysms, and then we have to come out and learn how to walk again and all that stuff. If you've had a baby, you know the process without knowing the process. If you've been a baby, you know the process even more without knowing the process. Alright, so they say there was a land called Atlantis, a powerful republic. Basically, it managed the entire world. It became so strong. Contentment set in, laziness set in. People became possessed with the mind, with the ego, with the what can we do? How can we make it better? This intuition, this feeling into things, that ain't working because I want to be able to watch 500 channels. I want convenience, so how do we get in the mind and optimize this? So we started to devoid ourselves from feeling. The feminine was repressed, the mind was kicked in. Yang plays itself out till it erodes back into yin. So they say Atlantis was a powerful nation state, many nations in one republic. As it became corrupt, it started to perverse nature. It started to think it was God and deify the mind over everything else. Instead of living cohesively in rhythm with life, it took control. Wanted to make it better, wanted to be godlike. We all know this. Greed rises. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So they started doing these black magic scientific experiments, creating chimeras, doing all sorts of perversions, normalizing insanity among the people. The people rose up eventually and fought back and overthrew them, and these are the Thracians who led the way, and the Thracians are the origins of our mythologies here now. What are these mythologies? It's a language of psyche which arises through multivalent expression, through the multiverse, through things we cannot even fathom. So the Thracians overthrew the Atlanteans because they were being nefarious. They were corrupted, and they had no choice. Shortly after this, a flood arises. The turning of the earth, a pole shift. So I see that cycle coming back now, actually. It's here. Many yogis, different yogis, but specifically the Kriya yogis, they believe that those born in America in these modern times are the reincarnation of the Thracians. And the Greeks, those who overthrew the Atlanteans. You know, when you mix it up with someone, when you get involved with someone, you take on their energy, their plights become yours. Doesn't mean you don't. It just means that you have to be aware that karma, relation, the law of relation, the polarity brings friction, and in that friction, that's where spirit is brought to form so that you can cultivate whatever that is. So you don't avoid things just because of that, but it's a language for you to understand exactly what's going on when you come into relation with another person or a situation or a society or a culture or whatever. So what do we see in this world, you know? It's a dehumanization, human resources. It's in the language, you know, they just seed us with little things at first. 10 years later, we're like miles down the rabbit hole of whatever the hell agenda's being pushed, and we don't even know it. We say, oh, they've gone crazy. They don't even drink tap water. They don't use fluoridated toothpaste. They don't eat GMO I mean, what's wrong with... They think plastic is good or isn't good. They don't wear polyester. Whatever. They don't like electromagnetic interference with the system. So look at these times, you know. Technocracy. Do you understand what that is? Plato's Republic is a prophetic spirit. It is the cultivation of a particular type of psyche which has arisen in people, and those that have floated to the top like pieces of shit on the river of life are the ones who hold it. They want to manage you, they want to manage me, they want to manage everyone. They are self-destruct nihilism incarnate. They are the offspring of a dying egregor that is fading away, and it is trying to hold on to control for another day. But in that process, it's forcing us to grow, forcing us to be aware, to cultivate spirit from within rather than from without. Alright, I don't have the chart pulled up, but what do we see in this world? Optimizing nature, optimizing the human condition. Because we can't be trusted, we destroy the earth. It's bad management, people. Do you make the fucking calls? Would you do the same shit other people do? Would you burn toxic waste to get rid of it? Does anyone think anymore? Does anyone have ability to critically think? Or are they so mired in their fucking emotional turmoil that they accept whatever regurgitated piss is being served to them? Trust the scientism. Trust the utopian dream. Sacrifice yourself so that tomorrow can live. These are nihilistic, self-destructive philosophies which arrive from a tormented, traumatized spirit. So lab-grown meats, GMO foods, growing people in labs, we don't need to reproduce anymore. And by the way, they're trying to take that away from us, if you haven't noticed. And it doesn't matter, because if this technocracy continues on as it is, there'll probably be less than 1 billion people on Earth, and all the people that are here, vast majority of them will be lab grown. Complete children of the system. Who knows what kind of spirit that creates, if there is one in these people. They may just be avatars for the darkness with which created them. This is Plato's Republic. You create a division of species. So get out of your head with the racism, with the sex wars, who's better than, who's evil, who's good, who's better and who's worse, who's more well off, who's... why do you subjectify objectifications of a shit show society as if it's your truth? How weak are you? And I can't blame you. We all haven't gone through the shit prior to going through the shit, so I guess it's understood, but here it is. You gotta wake up. Are you here for this?